All right, it's Thursday, April 20th. This is an end of the day SPY recap, and today we end up with a 2 down green bar. We took out the low of yesterday. We kind of had a 2 down green bar yesterday, and we're anticipating a potential actionable signal above the high, but it never unfolded. You can see the pre-market range here between the blue lines. We opened up near the lows again. There was some earnings report after this kind of up day on Wednesday. There was a whole bunch of stocks that had earnings reports that kind of gapped the market down a little bit. But as we've been doing, we kind of tried to recover to the upside. There really hasn't been big red days in this whole uptrend taking place. There was one here that was kind of a reversal day, but then where you expected maybe follow through here, it immediately started up. So we're in this uptrend here that's very choppy, and it's kind of tough in terms of, do you hold on? And there's a lot of volatility, but in terms of just the structure intraday, there are definitely still opportunities, even though there's no real strong actionable signal. Again, today the actionable signal would have been a 2. When you have a 2 down, then you're looking for that 2 up in line with the big picture trend up. Instead, we gap below the midpoint of the prior day. But if you look at the structure right out of the gates, we started. I shot a video right near the open describing that if we would have taken out these stops up here in the pre-market and then immediately had a red bar down towards those lows, I would have anticipated taking out the pre-market lows, maybe getting a deeper pullback. But instead, the market started up and it gave you an opportunity to get long. But you're kind of in this overall, 2 down day. So the question is, are you going to get a big reversal day to the upside or not? And I kind of shot a bunch of videos showing how you had the one push up, the second push up. I shot a video as you broke through the intraday high on its second push. I don't know for sure what's going to unfold. Just follow price action, and it went up for a bar or two and then paused and then had a 2 down. Now, at this point, I'm not saying you predict that you're going to get this kind of move, but given the way this happens a lot, I mean, I could show you a whole bunch of days if I go back here on the uptrend where you had kind of big reversals in the afternoon. So bottom line is, once you had the 2 pushes up, not even really to the halfway point of the prior day, it's not surprising once you get the pullback, then the algorithms take over and they start gunning for stops down here. And then, of course, it has a big green bar to end the day somewhere in the middle. So you end up with this green looking bar from the open that, was pretty tricky in terms of the afternoon. But it really wasn't tricky in the morning in terms of just typical structure. I look at the opening move of the day and the secondary move of the day, and that's why I kind of keep it just pretty simple like that. Once that occurs, I don't know what's going to happen. Are we going to continue all day to the upside, or is something like this possible? So this was the key, the trading in the day. Any of this stuff you couldn't have predicted, and unless you have another methodology, there's no way to really catch that to the downside. The only thing that I kind of saw early on was this low right here. The opening low was an exact bottom of this low a few days ago, right down. So we opened up down here and it tied that low at the moment, and that seems strange to me that we didn't take out those stops. So I guess it's not surprising that to have an exact double bottom like that, it's not surprising that the market wanted to come there and take those out before maybe going higher, and we'll find out tomorrow where it goes. So again, we have the 2 down day. There is an actionable signal to the upside here if we get a 2 up, but just like today, unless we start kind of above the midpoint of this bar and go higher, you might not get that actionable signal. So we'll see what happens tomorrow on the final day of the week. We kind of, with 1 day to go in the week, this is turning into a bit of a shooter looking bar. If we go red tomorrow, then that could mean a little follow through into next week, maybe to take out those lows. So maybe, if that develops, then by the end of the month, which would be next week's bar, maybe we're not going to reach our monthly target of taking out all week, month long. We've been looking at that 2 up month here to take out that monthly high. So we're just going to have to see. I think how tomorrow ends up might be a good sign whether or not we go to this green line target or not to the upside, or whether that's delayed a little bit and then we maybe get there by next month, or maybe we don't get there at all. If we have a 2 down, then we're going to need the weekly chart to turn up. Same way right now, even though we have all these 2 up weeks, I'm still looking for that weekly bar to have some kind of a sell signal in order to get bearish in any way, and it's just not happening. So that's why even on days like this, when you get the good opening to the upside, even on a gap down, there are some short-term opportunities. And at least with my methodology, I'm looking for that early move in the morning, maybe a secondary move if it unfolds, and that seems to be working out well in this environment, even though there's all kinds of choppiness, along the way. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Looking at this daily bar, we kind of took out this low here. we're still kind of near the bottom of this range, so it wouldn't be surprising to hit lower. If so, you got this next target down here. And I guess we'll see by the end of Friday, it'll be, by the end of tomorrow, which is the end of the week, if this is kind of a shooter looking bar, then you're going to anticipate a little lower prices into next week. If we hold in here and maybe just close neutral, then maybe it's just more pausing like this bar and we continue higher into next week. So we'll see. It'll end the week tomorrow. We'll see where it goes, and we'll see where, price action in the pre-market range leads us at the open.